So there's been a lot of talk about gear, especially for level 130, because people aren't sure about what we're going to get for new content in 2019 because, well, we can't get a new world. It's already been confirmed that we're not getting a new, next arc world, which is fine. And I've already talked about that in one of my videos. But I wanted to think about the gear specifically and what kind of gear I would like to see if they continue to, up the stakes, give us, better gear this time for level 130. I'm not level 130 on my Storm, but by the time that they come out with something, I probably will be. Just started leveling this guy in Imperial Part 2, so if you missed that, definitely go check it out. I'm just going to be quickly leveling him through on live streams until we get to level 130, so that's kind of the plan for that. But I wanted to talk about what kind of gear I would like to see, and also a little added, aspect to the gear that I would like to see. So there already is 130 gear in the game, and that is the Paradox gear, and there's also the crafted gear that's just like the Paradox gear. So that's the 130 gear. I don't have any of it right now because I'm not in level 130, but that is the gear that people are going for right now. And this is basically just Cabalist gear for, the next level. Cabalist was 125. I have Cabalist gear. I can show that. Paradox gear is basically Cabalist gear, but just for level 130. And that's the gear we've gotten in Imperial. We've gotten Cabalist, and now we have Paradox. And that's it. And they weren't even good for the robes weren't even good for our characters. So people don't even use the robes. You mostly just use the hat and use the boots. I think it's the same with the Paradox. Maybe people mix and match a little bit more. But that's basically it. And the robe, most people, at least Storm, definitely uses Mouster. Use the Darkmoor robe. And that's kind of been set in stone for a long time now. I'll use a level 100 robe at level 130. Well, when I get there, I'll probably still use this one because it's the best. So I want to think about gear that we could get later this year, because people think that we're going to be getting some kind of side dungeon or some kind of side content like that. And a lot of people are hoping that we get some, more, I don't know, like more substantial gear for level 130, which is kind of scary to think about, because can you imagine them adding in the next actual Darkmoor robe like this and made it better? Which, I don't know, that just seems like it'd be crazy, because how do you make this better? What, are you going to give it 30% damage and a little more power pip? What, you're going to still give Storm 25% accuracy? That's crazy. I've already said before, this robe is the craziest robe in the game. Well, maybe other schools have similar robes, but the Darkmoor robes were just crazy. And some schools, there is better robes out there, but for Storm, it's just this one. 115 crit, and you also get some Shadow Pip. I mean, it's just like this staple. Are we going to get something better than that? So people are hoping that we are. And if we are going to get something like that, how could they actually make it different rather than just give us the, little bit of increase in stats, which they've been doing with the Cabalist to Paradox gear? Are we actually going to get a bigger increase? So I wanted to bring in a new aspect that we haven't seen in the game yet, that I think would be cool. They don't have to do this, but I think it'd be a nice little kind of incentive and a nice addition to the game, because this is an MMO RPG game, and I think this could fit well in a game like this. So on the screen, I'm going to post a screenshot from World of Warcraft. I used to play World of Warcraft a lot, and I know how the gear works in that game. I haven't played it recently at all, but I do remember this. And this is a piece from a PvP set, so this could apply to PvP or PvE in Wiz, but for now, we're not really looking at that. We're just looking at what the gear has on it. So this piece of gear basically says that in order to get all of the bonuses, the set bonuses, and there's, what, 4 of them? Yeah, I think there's 4 of them. Then you will have to equip at least 4 pieces of this set, and there's 5 total. And for Wiz, I don't think they would have 5 total, because that seems like a lot, but maybe like 3 or something. But basically it means that the more you equip of this set, the more bonuses you get for your character. So say for Wiz, if we did this, this is just an example, I don't think they would ever do this, but what if the Darkmoor gear, if you equipped all 3 pieces of the Darkmoor gear, then you would get some kind of set bonus for your character. And I don't know what that would be. They'd have to come up with that. But do I have all the Darkmoor gear on this character? Yeah, Mouster. Say I equipped all this. What if I had this Darkmoor robe, and then the Darkmoor shoes right here. So if I had this entire set, all Darkmoor, everything is, Mouster's something of Flux. And if I equipped all of that and I moused over it, it would say at the bottom, they'd have to add like an extra little text. And it'd be like set bonus, and it would give you like whatever you get, like plus something. And maybe it's not anything crazy. Like, I know some people are thinking like, oh, you can't give more stats than what you already have. You can't give more damage, or you can't give more accuracy or resist or anything. It could just be health or something, or maybe a little bit more crit, but it's just like an option that they could do. I know the stats right now in this game are pretty crazy, and they're only getting crazier because you can get a storm with 150 damage and 100% crit, decent resist. Like, pets in this game just make stuff crazy too, because you can just come up with pets that have so much stats. But I feel like if they did this, they'd have to really rethink how they want stats in this game to work, because if they keep just upping everything a little bit as we get, every 5 levels or every 10 levels, whatever it is, we're eventually going to get storms up to like, 170% damage and stuff like that. And it just becomes crazy. Like, storm is already super powerful, which makes me think, are they ever going to like scale everything back a little bit so that storms don't have 200% damage or something someday? Because that's crazy. But if they did that, then I think it'd be a cool incentive for people to actually want to get all the gear. But they would have to think about it a lot, because they would have to make the set bonus better than, mixing and matching other things, which maybe they don't have to do that. Maybe mixing and matching would be better overall, but they could still add in the little incentive for the entire gear set. And I think for the gear set for Darkmoor, if they were to do that, which I don't think they will, but they could just have it be the 3 main pieces of Darkmoor gear: hat, robe, and boots. They wouldn't do a wand, because you wouldn't use the Darkmoor wand for this. But I think it'd be cool if like the main 3 pieces of gear was a set. And Darkmoor is just an example. They don't actually have to do that for Darkmoor. But what about the future gear? What if the new dungeon that comes out for level 130 and that 130 gear actually allows us to kind of have a set of everything? Because our main 3 pieces of gear don't have sockets. They don't have any sockets on these, and I don't think they should add sockets to our normal gear. That doesn't really make sense. We have sockets on every other piece of gear. Even our pet has a socket for a jewel. Everything else has a socket, I guess, except for mounts, but mounts can have stats. And our main pieces of gear haven't had anything. They don't have any like little bonuses or anything that you can, kind of upgrade. And either they add enchanting, which I don't really want them to add enchanting, because that would just get confused with socketing. So I think the set bonus is something that could be an interesting addition to this. And I don't think they should go back and change sets that already exist in the game. This should be something that's only for like the higher levels. Maybe 130 plus they start adding it. Because it could also be a legendary thing. We had the legendary wands that were craftable. Let's see if I have one somewhere on here. Ionis, the revered wand, which, is pretty difficult to make. I don't even use this, but you have to craft that. It gives a lot of stats. It gives energy and fishing luck too, as well as like pretty good stats for everything else. And it gives 2 sockets. So this is like the legendary weapon in the game. And what if they do something like that for the 130 gear, where it's basically legendary, but the bonus is that, for it being legendary, is that there's a set bonus if you get all of it. They would have to make it so that the gear from that is better than Mouster in every way, and in some way better than the Kabbalist and Paradox gear. So that's kind of tough to do. I don't know if they would do that, but I think it's a cool idea, because my main point for this is that we don't have any added bonus for any of these pieces of gear, but everything else does. We have sockets for all of these, and they're not going to change these. Like, I don't think we're going to get a better, ring that has more sockets than this, than 3. And we're not going to get, more than 2 square sockets on a amulet. So the gear's already pretty insane, which makes me think at some point, are we going to have the game kind of scale things back a little bit? in terms of everything's power. That would take so much time and effort. I don't know if they would do that though. But the power levels of everything is kind of just rising up a lot. So either they make the enemies stronger or everything just kind of gets, you know, dropped down a little bit. I don't know. But that's just an idea. And it's something that I was thinking about the past couple of days for, you know, gear and how it could evolve in this game. Because as of right now, gear is pretty crazy. And if we go back to my storm set here, that's why I'm on my storm for this video. Because my storm just... I almost don't want to level to 130 on this character because the gear that I had for this, like the gear set, they gave me 151 damage and 100% critical. It's going to change. My critical is going to drop below 100% when I get to 130. And then I'm going to have to find other gear. I'm going to have to find like paradox gear or something that is going to fit this a little bit better. The only bad thing about this set is that I don't have 100% critical or 100% power pip. And I guess I have low resist too, but that's storm for you. So block literally doesn't matter anymore. Like no one cares about block at this point. Where's block? Is over here. No one cares about block. But yeah, I just can't believe that the gear can get up to this much damage. I don't even know what the paradox gear is looking like when you get it everything equipped, because Cabal's was already crazy and the paradox is a little bit better than that. Maybe even less power pip though, but it's fine. So that's always something that I find you know, fun to do when there's a new world and there's a new level cap with gear, is finding those sets that make my storm even better than it was in the past. And it's kind of a challenge to get back to 100% critical. I can't even believe that it's possible to get to 100% critical in a storm, because on fire it's pretty difficult to get that. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think of that. If you want kind of the set bonus just for the hat, robe, and boots on a character, they wouldn't go back and change existing gear, but maybe for future gear, if they did something like that, it wouldn't be crafted. I think it would just be dropped, but it would be dropped as a legendary item or like a set item, and you could get the set. The set would only apply if you have all three equipped at the same time. So if you unequip one, you're not going to get the set, unless they decide to do it where 2 items could be set and then a third one with another bonus. I don't know. They'd have to think about that, and they'd have to change some stuff up with how gear works in this game. But that's what I was thinking of, just because these 3 pieces don't have anything. All of our other pieces you can kind of put jewels on and make it better. So do we need gear to be better? I don't know. I'm not even thinking in terms of PvP on this. This is literally just PvE. Maybe they have PvP, like a different set for that they make. But like, how powerful is too powerful in this game? Like, how far are we going to go? You know? So that's going to do it. That was just my idea that I had for gear and how it could be improved, even though it might not need to be improved. I don't know. It's kind of expected for gear to improve as we continue to level up, though, because we're at level 130 and they got to make some kind of changes as we get up, you know, to level 140 or level 1. Actually, we're not getting level 140 until at least 2020. So they got a lot of time to decide if they want to do this or not, and how they're going to change gear for that. But we'll leave that for another day. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.